I challenge you to a duel, Fitz.
Just when you thought things couldn't get any weirder, you got the kickoff. Your stick is not going to handle it well.
This thing is going to crumble at any moment.
It's the kickoff presented by Ram Trucks. He's Gary Striewski. I'm Jason Fitz. We start every week with random things on a stick over the campfire. This week, because of the world's largest, whatever we want to call this.
Time out.
What?
You're not Jason Fitz. You're an average Joe. And I'm not Gary Striewski. I am 50 Shades of Gray as we celebrate this Halloween weekend.
Wow. So, they said, hey, guys, you can wear costumes. Now, admittedly, most of my costumes involve dead things or, like limbs ripped off or things that involve masks. And you can't do a show with the mask. So I say to Gary Striewski, okay, I'll go get a costume. And I got an average Joe's costume. Feeling good.
Wait,
feeling
hold
bendy,
on. You're not wearing a mask? I'm just kidding. Fitz, you look awesome. You look anything but average in this costume.
And so his version of a costume was to go to a local hardware store.
That's right.
Simply take sheets of gray.
That's right.
Are there 50?
There is.
Exactly
actually,
50?
There's 52 Shades of Gray. It's the sequel.
Oh, God. This is what we're in for the next half an hour. As we do every single weekend, we're going to get you caught up on everything that you're going to need to know. We're going to have some trivia. We're also going to figure out these are sticks for the Bloody Marys.
Correct.
Are you eating any of this?
Absolutely not. I was tempted. And as I was examining what is on the skewers presented by our wonderful producer who's in studio, Joey G, who's joining the program momentarily, it smells good, looks good, except I have a piece of mold on this cheddar cheese that I will not be.
It's like Jenga.
Dude, that is heinous. That is worse than you drinking mayonnaise. What are you doing?
It's moldy cheese, but cheese is essentially mold. Like what?
Sam Acho out of my periphery is about to puke right now because he just saw you eat moldy cheese.
Sam Acho, come on in. Can I offer you a half-cut lemon, perhaps?
I just got a quick question. You said it's 50 shades. I feel like it's like 10. It's like 8 of the same type of shade. So you're 8 shades of gray.
Ish, times 7.
That's 56.
Something like that. I know it's 50-something.
All right.
You know what he really is? He's a mailman because he mailed this in. Ow! Ow! All these jokes coming on me.
Hey, you're more than an average Joe. You know what I mean?
Thank you very much. Now, Sam came dressed as a professional because, like any good show, we didn't tell him we were even.
I didn't get the memo.
This is called sabotage for our guest that kindly gives us time. Let's get into some of the college football action. Obviously, the CFP rankings come out on Tuesday. We've got all eyes on that rankings reaction, a show you can check out here digitally, by the way, on Tuesday night. So what do you think that we need to see from the committee? What are they going to have to see from Cincinnati in their first rankings to make everybody feel like they're headed to the playoff?
Well, I feel like as long as Cincinnati's at 4, maybe 5, they'll be okay. A lot of people have Cincinnati at number 2, which kind of makes sense. But at the same time, Ohio State has been shining, right? Alabama has been looking good since their loss. But Cincinnati with Desmond Ridder under Luke Fickell, if they're at 4, right, maybe right above Oklahoma, maybe even at 5, right behind Oklahoma, I'll be okay. They have a couple more tests. I think they could put up 50 against Tulane, right? Like, go put up 50 against Tulsa. And then on November 20th, they play SMU. Right now, SMU is undefeated. So you go and you beat an undefeated SMU team. Now, all of a sudden, you're hanging in that top 4, top 5. You can rise up even higher.
Okay, so let's flip the script because you mentioned that SMU game still undefeated. There's a couple of teams still undefeated kind of hanging around. But if SMU flips the table, beats the undefeated Cincy, all of a sudden, listen, I'm not saying it's deserved, but if everyone's like Cincy's 2, Cincy's 3, and SMU takes care of business, then what's going to happen? Chaos is going to ensue, right?
I don't think chaos will ensue. I just, like, SMU hasn't proven it. Let's put it that way. Cincy last year, you could say they proved it, right? But SMU, right, I get it. They're playing really, really well. Tanner Mordecai at quarterback, transfer from Oklahoma. He's playing at a really, really high level. They are undefeated. I get it. But even if they go and they beat Cincinnati, you can talk about strength of schedule. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I don't think they would be in that top 5 conversation. Maybe top 10, maybe top 12, but not in that college football playoff conversation.
No. But as we see right here, Wake Forest also in this graphic. Like, what about Wake? I mean, they're undefeated. And, like, this is the weird thing for college football fans because every year they're like, we don't want the same thing over and over again. And then they're like, oh, no Clemson in the playoff. We don't want Wake. Like,
right. And Wake's been balling offensively. Like, I think Sam Hartman might still be scoring touchdowns. He put up 70 last week. He had 5 touchdowns passing the ball, 1 rushing. But they gave up 56 points, 56 points. So it's like, I get it, they're undefeated. UTSA, another undefeated team, right? It's hard to be undefeated in college football. So, like, let's give credit where credit is due. But when it comes to the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, mind you, I sat in on one of their meetings for a weekend. They're trying to pick the 4 best teams, period. They're not saying who's undefeated or who are the 4 best teams. And if you want to talk about who it is right now, it's got to be Georgia is in that conversation, right? It's probably the best. Ohio State in that conversation. Alabama in that conversation. Cincinnati in that conversation, Oklahoma. So there's teams where they are the best, but just because you're undefeated doesn't make you one of the 4 best teams in college football.
Okay, sticking in the Big Ten, because on the inside of it, playing for the Paul Bunyan Trophy, of course, Michigan State, Michigan, both undefeated.
Yes.
Is anything going to happen this week either way for Sparty or the Wolverines that would indicate to you they deserve to be in that top conversation?
Well, yeah, a lot could happen, right? So think about it. Both undefeated teams, Michigan, Michigan State, both 7-0.
Because you put Ohio State before you mentioned both of those undefeated.
I did, because Ohio State, in my opinion, has looked better. But if Michigan goes out and beats Michigan State, mind you, they have they play Ohio State, they play Penn State. You get a chance to play 2 other ranked teams. Now you can prove to everyone that I can be in that top 4. Some people may even have them in there right now. Same goes for Michigan State. If Michigan State goes and beats Michigan, right? Jalen Naylor plays well. Peyton Thorne plays well. If Kenneth Walker plays well and they go and beat Michigan, they still get a chance to go and beat Ohio State, still get a chance to go and beat Penn State. Now, all of a sudden, you put yourself into that you force yourself into that conversation by saying, I've beat 3, 4, 5 ranked teams and I'm undefeated. I'm there. Now, here's the kicker. If Michigan loses one game, let's say they win out and they lose to Ohio State, and they're a 1-loss Michigan, and that loss against Ohio State looks pretty good, they could be in that conversation. Check me out, right? Because you beat everybody else.
Yeah.
You lose to Ohio State, who's going to be, let's say Ohio State is going to be in the top 2, 3. They could be in that conversation in place of a school like.
It's the annual Georgia-Alabama conversation.
Yes, right? It is.
And now, in fairness, though, with this game particularly, you got a Michigan team that can run on anybody. Michigan State can be run. Like, what are you looking for in this game?
Well, I'm looking for that dude you just saw, Blake Corum, number 2, running that ball. I'm also looking for their playmakers, right? Hassan Haskins as well, making plays, Cade McNamara. But more than anything, what I'm excited about is the defense that you see from this Michigan football team. Like, their defense is what it gets me excited. I get it. Michigan and Michigan State both play good defense, but they got some playmakers on that side of the ball. Number 97, Aiden Hutchinson, defensive end, playmaker. He's got another guy, number 55 right there, David Ojomo, my Nigerian brother, Ojomo, making plays, right? So you've got him. Then you've got DJ Turner, who plays defensive back. Keep on showing those highlights right. That's my dog. DJ Turner, number 5. They've got so many playmakers on that side of the ball. That's why I give the edge to Michigan.
But doesn't Michigan State have more playmakers on the offensive side than we've seen in?
Definitely.
You could say so, right? Jalen Naylor's making plays. You got Reed making plays. You got Peyton Thorne, transfer as well, making plays. All these guys, Kenneth Walker's a transfer. All these guys are making plays. That Kenneth Walker right here, this play, like he's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He played North. That was the first play of the game. It's the entire season. Touchdown. You got Jalen Naylor, Reed, touchdown. Peyton, you got so many guys making plays. And so, but I think it comes down to, like, who has more playmakers. These highlights look good, but last week, they didn't look good against Indiana, that Michigan State football team.
Do you trust either of these guys to represent college football as a whole as a top 4?
I trust Michigan.
Really?
I trust Michigan. Now, I trust Ohio State.
That's a departure from
I trust Ohio State more.
Correct.
But I think Michigan is going to win this game, and I really do think they have a chance to maybe even knock off Ohio State or keep it close. And then if Ohio State goes and wins the Big Ten championship, your only losses against the number 1 or number 2, number 3 team. Now all of a sudden, let's say since he loses to SMU,
it's getting messy.
It could get really messy.
Things are starting to get super messy right now with these hypotheticals.
Yeah, but all these hypotheticals could lead us to a super predictable.
Real quick though, but the great thing about these is they're not hypothetical because all these teams will play one another, right? Yeah. SMU plays Cincy, Michigan State plays Michigan, Michigan State plays Penn State. All these teams get a chance to prove who they really are. That's the great thing about college football.
So Ohio State this weekend plays Penn State, and Vegas has them as a massive favorite. So what do you expect from that game?
I expect them to be massive favorites, right? Like Michigan, Ohio State is averaging 49.3 points on offense, number 1 FBS. They're averaging over 552 yards on offense, number 1 in the FBS. They got guys like Chris Olave. They got guys like Garrett Wilson. They got guys like Jackson Smith and Jigba. They got guys like Mayan Williams, who's not even their best running back. They got a better running back who's a true freshman, Travion Henderson. And then C.J. Stroud is making plays. Everybody on this offense can play. But it's not just the offense. That's the crazy thing. Ever since that loss in week 2 against Oregon, their defense has been dominant. They got a new defensive coordinator, a new play caller on defense. So their defense has been balling. So that's the thing about Ohio State. 1 loss, I get it. But they're balling on every single side of the ball.
Does it even feel like it's the same Ohio State team that got upset at home against Oregon? Because C.J. Stroud has quietly been hanging up 3, 4, 5 touchdown games, and we're like, they're the second third-tier topic of every single show that we have.
Yeah, it's a different Ohio State team. Look at it, like 41.6 point differential, right? Like that's what Cincinnati needs to be in that college football playoff conversation. I want to beat people by 40, by 50. Ohio State is a new team now than they were in week 1 or in week 2 because of maturation process by C.J. Stroud at quarterback and also new defensive play caller getting them in positions to make plays.
So look at the other side of the matchup then, because now I got a Penn State team that I agree with you. I think Penn State is going to get thwacked, all right? And that's a new word.
New word alert. New word alert.
Thwacked. That's
nothing average about this guy's vocabulary.
Yeah, you know what? You eat moldy cheese, you can make up words. That's the way this show goes. All right, so at this point, we got to ask a real question because James Franklin and all these rumors over here that he's sort of not addressing. Is Franklin even really a coach worth spending millions of dollars on?
Yeah, Franklin is tripping, in my opinion, right?
Tripping.
Especially that last week against Illinois. You got 9 overtimes to figure out 1 2-point play. I mean, like, come on, bro. Like, what are you doing? That's number 1. Number 2, I feel like he's gone. You know, people ask you questions, you don't really answer the questions. I feel like he can't really answer the question. I'm not going anywhere. No, he's like, I've answered this before. I love Penn State. We'll see what happens with our AD, da-da-da. Man, Franklin is tripping. He won't be gone in a hot minute.
I just don't know why everybody wants him so much, you know. But speaking of coaches, real quick, Georgia, Florida, obviously a lot there on the line. Usually in that matchup, not this year. Any chance Florida pulls the upset? Can Mullen do the impossible?
I don't think so. And I think because this Georgia team is just different. Like, they're just built different. You know what I mean? Like, defensively, I don't think they're taking any drop-offs after their bye week.
They're so scary.
They're so scary. And, like, you heard what Kirby Smart said. He was like, we're training to beat everybody. We practice to beat everybody. They are a scary football team, right? Nolan Smith is scary, right? Like, you got guys on the edge, right? Scary. Christopher Smith on the back end, scary. Devontae Wyatt, number 9, like all their dudes are scary, so I don't see them dropping off against Florida.
Yeah, I think in 5 or 10 years we're going to look back at this defense and say, we were watching one of the greats. All right.
And we'll also say this.
We're saying that right now.
It was no average Joes on that defense.
Look at, see, that's why he's a professional. He's Sam Acho. Check him out all weekend on the great coverage, man. You've been crushing it, and we always appreciate your time. Thanks for hanging out.
No, definitely. Appreciate it.
All right.
Next time, give me the memo so I can dress up or something.
No, I can't promise that. In the meantime, one thing we always get you is the best action live direct from the field. Let's do some of that now. It's time for Conference Call.
Love the conference call.
We are here at the game that we can't call it what we used to call it, so we're going to call it Earth's biggest alfresco libation celebration, Georgia, Florida.
Cold beer.
100th edition of the game. Of course, that depends on what media guide you're looking at. It's one of my favorite things in college football is when the media guides don't agree with one another. I love stats, and I love this weird stat. Georgia has never won this game in a year when the Braves are also in the World Series. I feel like that might change. For more on the football game, let's throw it over to my colleague, Marty Smith. Marty?
Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it. I hope you're having a great day. Also, in all those years when the Dogs didn't win, when the Braves were in the World Series, the Dogs didn't have this defense.
Yeah.
One of the biggest storylines entering this game, of course, is the quarterback situation on both sides. Is it going to be Emory Jones and Anthony Richardson, or Anthony Richardson for Florida? Dan Mullen says he's going to play both. He also says don't worry about who's starting, worry about who's finishing the game. That's an interesting comment to me.
Well, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, Marty.
Man, I've never heard that one before. On the Georgia side, JT Daniels is probably going to be back from missing multiple games with that lat injury. In his absence, Stetson Bennett was lights out. Among quarterbacks with at least 100 action plays, that's a rush or a pass.
Yeah, I just looked it up. That's a rush or a pass.
He's third in the country in QBR behind Caleb Williams at Oklahoma and C.J. Stroud at Ohio State. Pretty good company.
Hey, we're Marty and McGee. We'll be at the game. Y'all should watch the game. Back to you.
You're welcome.
With Baylor and Texas both coming off of bye weeks, there's certainly an emphasis to start fast and to throw the first punch, given this will be an 11 a.m. local kick. Baylor head coach Dave Aranda wants his team to keep it simple and wants them to pick up right where they left off against BYU, running the football and stopping the run, which will be a tall task with Bijan Robinson coming to town. He told me earlier this week the focus for he and his teammates is to maintain a high level of intensity for all 4 quarters. Texas, of course, is coming off of 2 heartbreaking losses in back-to-back weekends. Robinson feels like if they can maintain that level of focus for the entirety of this game, they'll be able to get back on track.
Welcome to a cold Madison, Wisconsin. We are outside Mickey's Dairy Bar. The historic restaurant's been around since 1946. It sits right outside Camp Randall Stadium, where it is homecoming on Saturday. I'm going to share with you a quote that we learned this week that may not be appropriate for the show, but here we go anyways. Brian Ferentz, the offensive coordinator for Iowa, said that the loss to Purdue 2 weeks ago was like a stinky fart. It's like that smell that just lingers throughout the building. What he meant by that was that they didn't play well against Purdue, and then they had to wait for a bye. You really just want to get out and play against another opponent, and they have that chance this week against Wisconsin to let some of that stinky air outside of the building. But they're going to have to do it against the number 2 defense in the country, the Badgers.
Molly McGrath walking around Auburn's campus, pretending that I go here, and some of these trees behind me are the trees that Auburn fans will adorn with toilet paper if they beat Ole Miss this weekend. And to do that, they need to have a special performance from their quarterback, Bo Nix. Bo Nix has been hot and cold this season. He was even benched at one point, but he told me that benching absolutely changed his mindset, and he's never felt more confident going into a game, especially after a big win over Arkansas where he completed over 80% of his passes. And Nix said they controlled their own destiny in the SEC West. If they continue to win out throughout the rest of the season, that Iron Bowl game is essentially a play-in game for the SEC championship. So Bo Nix hoping these trees stay covered in toilet paper. It should be a really good one here in Auburn. Back to you.
I just love the fact that absolute professionalism.
That grill is awesome.
Here. Like, this outfit has gotten worse as the show's gone on.
I think it's gotten better.
B, can we acknowledge the fact that stinky fart was just used in conference call? Like, that might be one of my favorite moments. That's
incredible.
Yeah, all right. So let's get to Built for Success, presented by Ram Trucks. Now, I should point out that teams in the Built for Success spotlight are 6-0 this season the following day. So being featured in Built for Success is pretty amazing. Let's bring in Kelsey Riggs to help us break down this week. Hi, look, at the end of the day, fear not. This is just what we wear to work every day. It's professional.
Nobody told me. I mean, Gary, are you like a painted porcupine?
No, Kelsey Riggs. I am 50 Shades of Gray.
With pink underneath. I like it.
Correct.
Very well
I was
done.
going to go with the Squid Game motif, but some said it might be too aggressive.
Go on. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure anybody actually said that.
Nobody
Kelsey.
said that.
At the end of the day, I don't think anybody said that at all. But this is the level of professionalism that, for some reason, we decided to bring today. So talk to us, since you are a professional and you've done a lot of work around Pitt. I mean, you've got a pretty good idea of what's going on in this program. So did you see this coming from Pitt this season?
I would love to say that I'm the one that predicted it, that called it, that knew Pitt was going to be one of the best teams in the ACC. I won't say that I saw it coming. I'll say that I'm not surprised by it at all, especially because of the guy that everybody's talking about right now, Kenny Pickett. I've had Pitt a number of times over the last couple of years covering the ACC, and the way that this team has continued to believe in what they're able to do with their quarterback, Kenny Pickett, and then also the defensive success that they have there, that Pat Narduzzi has built year after year after year, even when they're putting guys in the NFL every year on defense. I'm not surprised by it at all. I can't say that I necessarily expected them to be the team in the Coastal this year that was undefeated in conference play and with just one loss on the regular season. But it's been fun to watch them this year so far, and I really, guys, just expect it to continue.
Kelsey, I'm upset because I just read your name graphic, and our producers, I'm pretty sure it was Kenny Legan, fonted you as hosted SportsCenter with Gary last Saturday, and in parentheses said, "We're sorry, Kelsey." That hurts my feelings because, to your point, Kenny Pickett, you mentioned this before we went on air last week, how you're so high on him because he's got 23 scores, just one interception, and all joking aside, he's been there for 17 seasons. So how has it gotten to this point now for the fifth-year player?
I like how you said, all joking aside, he's been there for 17 seasons. It feels like it, right? I mean, technically his first year, Pat Narduzzi is quick to say, well, he didn't really play. I think he only attempted like 39 passes that year. But he's just gotten better and better. I feel like over the last couple of years, when I've had my meetings with Pat Narduzzi or with Kenny Pickett, you've heard about what he brings to this team on the field as a leader. And then also just the belief that their head coach, Pat Narduzzi, and their offensive coordinator, Mark Whipple, have in Kenny Pickett. And now, you know, in the past, there were still some mistakes. There were still some turnovers. There were some costly things that happened. But everything's coming together for Kenny Pickett. This is his third year with offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach Mark Whipple. And these two get each other. They're working really well together. They've continued to build on that success. He's got some incredible weapons around him. And he's done a really good job of taking care of the football. He can throw the football really well. He makes good decisions when he's not seeing what he wants. And he's able to take off and scramble if he needs to as well. So I think that the key to this success has kind of just been the fact that, like you said, Gary, he's been there, 17, 18 seasons? I mean, they've got it all figured out.
I'm suddenly realizing that Kelsey Riggs' analysis is so good, this is going to get clipped off and used without any context all over the web. And then people are going to wonder what we are doing, these two morons in the shop. Okay, so according to the weenies that do all the numbers, Pitt has the 7th best chance to make the college football playoff and the 6th best team in the country according to FPI. So Seth Walder wrote this morning on ESPN.com they have a real chance to make the playoff. You agree?
I mean, I am never going to argue with the numbers. And 7th best chance sounds really, really good. It's a little almost surprising that it's that high just because right now, there are still 5 games left and they've got that 1 loss to Western Michigan, which was a tough one. You would have definitely liked to be sitting here if you're Pitt seeing an undefeated season, not with that loss to Western Michigan. But coming out of the Clemson game the way they did, I think it was a statement win. Look, everybody knows that Clemson is not the Clemson team that we've seen in years in the past. Nobody projected them to struggle like they have, and DJ Uiagalelei has definitely had his share of problems that he needs to get figured out. But that was still a huge win for Pitt last week. Now, the important thing that they need to do as you look at the rest of their schedule is they need to keep winning. They need to win against a Miami team that feels pretty good because they just sneaked out a win over NC State last week. Duke is a team that they should have no problems with. North Carolina, a team that they've been riding a roller coaster all year, never really sure who you're going to get. Virginia, the one on November 20th, is the one I'm really interested in because Virginia is playing non-conference games and has a bye up until then. So really, they're looking to see what Pitt does. That could be a really big game on November 20th in the ACC, depending on how these two teams do. But you guys, if they keep winning, there's no reason that they shouldn't continue to be in the conversation. It's a little bit wild to me that the numbers, the way they work out, that their playoff prediction chances are higher than Wake Forest, who's undefeated right now. But when you look at what they have left in this rest of the schedule, I think it's more favorable towards Pitt. They've already gotten some of the big ACC teams out of the way, and Wake Forest still has some tough tests. But you guys, fun year in the ACC, Coastal Chaos. We've got a lot of talent, and Kenny Pickett for Heisman. Let's go. I am all in.
Well, nobody does it better than Kelsey Riggs. Check her out across all the platforms. Kelsey, when you watch it back, remember, these are really high chairs. It's not that I'm super short. My feet aren't dangling. These are
that was my favorite part.
Really high chairs. Just so we're clear on that. Kelsey, you're the best. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks, Kelsey.
Thanks for having me, guys. Miss y'all.
All right, guys.
You come in the locker room, just don't step on the rattler. Because if you step on the rattler, we need 25 push-ups. Don't matter who you is. Coach Simmons step on the rattler, he gonna give us the 25 push-ups.
Okay, so what you guys don't know, there's some super talented people behind the scenes on this show. And we're bringing one in because we need some help going on here. Gary, 50 Shades of Grey, we've established that. Me, Average Joe, we've established that. Now we bring in a not-so-average Joe.
Yeah.
Are we going to go like Joey G? Like, what do we got here? What's the costume?
Yeah, why didn't you dress up?
This is the situation. Mike, the situation Sorrentino.
Oh, Cousine, looking good.
Cha-ching. Oh, it's funny you say that because you know, like those random people at Halloween parties.
Of course.
And they're wearing like a soccer jersey or something.
Of course.
And you say to yourself,
Like, that's Ronaldo.
that didn't take any effort dressing up. I wear this to church, my guy.
Yeah.
So
You wore
you're
a
telling
suit,
me
a
I'm
tracksuit.
wearing this and I could have just worn a hoodie. I feel bad about this. All right, we're going to do some trivia, and let's acknowledge that Gary and I both are not allowed on most trivia teams. We're terrible at this.
That's correct.
And, we're about to show our greatness. You're going to host it?
I am.
You're going to tell us what we're up against. You ready?
Yes, sir. First one. Now, there's going to be different ways of answering this.
What are the
So
cups for?
You're going to find out.
Okay.
But not for the first one. Are you ready?
Sure.
I hope you did your study.
Wait until you're spoken to.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
I am burned out.
Hey, no wardrobe slips right here, bro. I don't care if this is the internet. Keep them thighs low.
Well, I can't promise anything.
Question number one. Name the 9 undefeated teams remaining in the FBS. You
Can
first
this be
here.
a team effort?
You first.
Yeah, wait. Oh, you first? What was
Yep,
I
yep.
even buzzing in?
We'll go SMU. Okay, we're going to go with...
Oh my God, is there a time limit here? Like, we can collectively, we're going to get through this together. Wait, we know Wake Forest. Wake Forest.
That's what I was going to guess. Okay.
2 down.
Wake Forest. We got SMU.
Oh my God, Michigan and Michigan State.
Oh yeah, Michigan.
Bang,
Michigan
bang,
State.
yep,
I'm
yep.
getting points.
4,
for all of
that's
these.
4.
That's 4. I mean, there's got to be a point system here going on.
Come on.
Georgia's undefeated.
There we go.
Yeah,
Number 1
Georgia,
team in the
how-
nation.
Hold on.
Cincinnati's
Can we
undefeated.
start over? My
6.
brain isn't working right
Pittsburgh's
now.
no, Pittsburgh has
Pittsburgh
a loss.
has
My
one
bad.
loss.
My bad,
Pittsburgh
Wake
has one
Forest.
loss.
2 more.
What conferences are they in?
They're out west.
Oh, wait, Oklahoma's
Oh, yeah,
undefeated.
Oklahoma.
We didn't say Oklahoma yet?
Yep. Okay.
so I got
Out
Oklahoma.
west. Oklahoma. Who's first in the Mountain
Well,
West?
no, Oregon has a loss, so
Oregon
it's
has a loss.
Tick. 10 seconds.
You want to give us a hint?
Out west. That's all I'm giving.
Out west of what?
You know what?
West side, best side.
Give us a conference.
The amount of East Coast bias conversation that's going to happen now. Who did we miss? I got more than Gary did, though, so I get a point for that.
Survey says.
Oh, San Diego State and
San
USTA.
Diego State and USTA. All right.
Question number 2.
Got it.
We're using Flip Cup.
Okay.
Did they have Flip Cup in BC?
Yeah. You were about to say, did they have Flip Cup when I was a kid? All right, let's go.
So I'm gonna ask the question. As soon as I'm done answering it, or asking it, excuse me, flip it. The person that gets it first answers the question.
Okay.
All right? Are you ready? Which quarterback has the most passing yards in the FBS? Wow. I mean, we're gonna call shenanigans. Shenanigans.
I'll give it to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, that wasn't gonna answer the question.
FBS.
Most passing yards.
Most passing yards. Oh, okay, I'm gonna go Matt Corral.
Oh man, that was actually a pretty solid guess.
I mean, I was just kind of using my deductive reasoning here.
Bryce Young. Big conference bias. What? Oh, Brennan Armstrong. I'm sorry. That
was my next freaking.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. All right. You guys are off to a wicked hot start. All right.
Just crushing the
Flip Chachi, my
Three
man.
over here on the flips. What do we do?
No practicing. You ready?
I don't
Question
need,
3.
Are we still flipping?
Yep, Flip Cup. Question 3. Are you ready?
Yes.
Which team has the longest active winning streak in the FBS? Come on, bro.
I was quick to say Alabama, but it's actually Georgia.
Stoink!
Yeah, no, Cincinnati.
Stoink!
Oh,
We got stoinks left and right. Longest active winning streak.
That makes sense.
Oklahoma.
This is harder than it looks. Oh, weird.
Did I
You
get
got to
it?
go back to the tape. I don't know who answered it at the right time.
I was going chalk. It was either going to be Georgia because I know they were bringing it from last season, or Oklahoma.
It's important. I want to have a quick conversation with you guys. I want you to realize something right now. I'm being honest about my
Oh, they
idiocy.
cut the music.
Some of us are trying to hide it. I'm just saying, okay. Oh, we're back to.
We're going next question.
I think
We have
I figured half
whiteboards.
a point there.
You don't get. You get nothing.
You're like
for that.
negative
All right.
at this
By
point.
the way, I'm still leading because they got more on the first question. Oh, now we get to draw
All right,
things.
whiteboards.
Gary, remember,
All
we
right?
work for Mickey Mouse. Whatever you draw would have to be Mickey Mouse appropriate.
Question 4. How many schools have been ranked this season?
How many schools individually
Have been ranked. We're going to go closest to the number.
I should have written it bigger. All right, ready?
Reveal.
I said 47.
I said 40.
The winner. Mr. Jason Fitz.
No.
40.
I'm closer.
47 is closer to 45.
Price of right rule.
They
Price is
just
right
said
rule.
in our ears, no Price is Right rule.
This is ridiculous.
Oh,
This is rigged.
Give me
This
these.
is ridiculous.
Gary.
I demand a recount. What is this?
Not your game is what it is. Question 5. Flip.
Sure there's no vodka in this? Okay,
No,
go ahead.
0. Flip Cup. Question 5. Are you
playing
ready?
The rest of this
No
game.
cheating.
I'm playing the rest of this game in protest.
Name.
Change their score.
Name the last 5 college football winners in order. Go.
College football.
Oh, the championship winner?
Winners.
He winner?
Yes.
Okay, fine. I flipped that, so now I've got to go with this. I'm starting from
2020.
No. I'm trying to figure out I'm not going to give him any indication of where I'm going with this. I need the last 5
Can I call a clock on this? Because this guy can't just go into the Wikipedia that is the back of his brain.
Oh, yeah, I can. I can absolutely do that. No. See, I'm not giving him any advantage. I'm going to go.
Start with last year. Okay.
I don't know who the last 5 were. I'm not helping you at all. Go ahead. There's a strategy to this. Go ahead. What do you got?
No, because do I get the points?
Yeah, you can try.
No matter what?
You can try.
This guy's pretty good at this.
Okay.
You're like that
You're terrible.
15th year senior.
Alabama.
Bang.
Clemson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Alabama, LSU, Clemson, Alabama.
And?
LSU. I said LSU. I said Alabama, LSU, Clemson, Alabama.
And then?
2016, Ohio State.
Oh, see, that's where I was lost. What'd he get? Oh, so
Dang
close.
it.
So close. There are no half points. There are no participation.
No, but hold on.
There's your strategy.
I got most of them. You better give me a
No,
point.
you don't get points
point.
for you don't get points for a partial. The question was
Bonus
name the last
okay.
5. That's why because anybody can get through Alabama, LSU, Clemson. It was after that I was
didn't?
lost. No, I wasn't going to give you any help with those 3.
Bonus point. Who won the first CFP national championship?
Well, what are you now? You're the host. You're the host.
And the answer to that is Ohio
never
State.
play a game with Gary. Like Gary is just making up rules as he goes along. Okay, go ahead.
All right, question 6. Flip cup. Get him in position, please. Who leads the SEC in passing touchdowns?
Oh my God.
Come on, guys. Ooh, okay. We're gonna give
Bryce Young, give me the point.
It's a miracle.
Thank
I
you.
got one right.
Damn,
Okay.
Okay,
We're working
I'm
here.
on the board again. Don't let me get hot. Do not.
Hey.
Let me get hot.
Okay, question number 7. In position, please. Gary, see if she can get 2 in a row. Who has the most receiving yards in a game this season?
Friend of the show, Drake London. Bam, give me the points.
No, sir.
Dang it.
I have no idea who has the most receiving.
Come on, huge game. And big flex, I was there.
Oh my God, we're talking about.
261 yards. Oh, goodness.
I don't know. I have no idea. I got nothing.
Cotton Bowl.
I was just about to say.
Come on.
Dang it.
Nah, Paisan.
Oklahoma.
No, other team.
Just kidding. No, it's Oklahoma versus Texas.
I'm lost. I got nothing.
Mr. Xavier Woods, 9 catches, 261.
Okay. Yeah.
Xavier Woods, excuse me.
Well,
Xavier Worthy. Oh, wow,
Okay.
wow. All right. Shame on me.
It's a college football show, boys and girls.
I was trying to really smell that.
All I said was Drake London was pushing 200 in like a couple games. Friend of the program. I had to show him some love.
Question number 8.
God,
the final
suck
one.
at trivia.
And this is just straight up. Are you ready?
No, actually.
Who on this
Georgia.
set? Who on this set knows absolutely nothing about Italian food?
That's disrespectful.
Are you sure?
Gary Striewski.
Gary Striewski.
I mean, Gary Striewski is absolutely.
And
the answer.
we have proof.
That's disrespectful.
We have proof.
I've been to Italy. There's not such thing as bad Italian, but there is a such thing as not good Italian. The Italian food is literally the same pasta in different sauces, bro. Come on, stop. Bro, no, pizza's
Where's
not
pizza
Italian
created?
food. Pizza is pizza, bro. Why you gotta do me like that?
I mean, because it might be the worst take you've ever had, and you've had some horrible takes.
If my grandmother heard you say that, she wouldn't slap you, she'd slap me.
Cousine, come on.
I mean, you gonna say something to Joey G's grandma?
No, I'm not gonna say something to Joey G's late grandmother. May her soul rest in peace.
No, she's here.
Oh, I thought
And you don't want to see her.
Gary is now off Joey G's grandma. That's what happened. What you've seen is that not only does he take points where he's not allowed to have them, he just decides who gets to stay and who gets to go.
You just said if my grandmother would have heard you. That was past tense. What are we doing here?
Look, we are idiots. Joey G did a great job, though, right? You want to join us in the final portion of this? All we have to do together is say they're presented by Ram Trucks. We ready for this? We ready for this? Everybody go straight to the kickoff. All right, guys, thanks for watching the kickoff presented by Ram Trucks.
We dressed up
we were all
as people
supposed
who
to do
don't
that
know
too.
anything about trivia this Halloween. Enjoy it.
He's the worst.